Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bigger Than Race. Exposure to all things true, whether you like it or not, with unique perspectives from different beings from all walks of life. This is Bigger Than Race. Investigate truth on your own terms. Welcome back to Bigger Than Race. You know who this is? This is your boy, Brando. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is truly breaking news. I know you saw the thumbnail and you were like, what? A letter from Satoshi Nakamoto. Ladies and gentlemen, what has slid across my digital desk was a document sent to the OCC, Brian Brooks, Comptroller of currency. Brian Brooks. Many of us have been wondering who is Satoshi Nakamoto, if he's still alive, if he exists, if it's a he, a she, an alien, the government, we don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a inclination on maybe Satoshi Nakamoto is still out there. Now, to protect the integrity of this here show, I can't say that this is in fact the real Satoshi Nakamoto. It's a big if. But why would he send a letter to Brian Brooks? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to brace yourself because this is going to be a fantastic ride. I would please ask you to buckle your seatbelts. Please keep your arms, legs within the cabin and prepare. 3, 2, 1, lift off. Now, first we need to take a stop and let Murder, She Wrote take us down the rabbit hole. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is going to be a doozy. And the wait was well worth it. We're talking about the creator of the Internet of Value. The reason why we can have all these new technologies being ushered in, like artificial intelligence, robotics, digital identification, the changing of banking, and the list goes on. It's because of this Bitcoin technology, blockchain. This is why we are able to do what we're doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we must pay homage to the true Satoshi Nakamoto. Because if there's individuals out here claiming to be Satoshi Nakamoto, knowing they are, in fact, not him or whoever it may be, then those need to be exposed. Because we're big on truth here, whether you like it or not. So let's keep an open mind. And I ask you to help me join on the search to find out as if this is the true Satoshi Nakamoto. We got to find this out, ladies and gentlemen. And there's going to be clues and hints along the way. We're going to make this a game like, well, Where's Waldo? But this time we're going to have actual documentation. Something of validity that we can actually see and draw a conclusion. Now let's go.
Can you buy portions of a Bitcoin?
Oh yeah, you can buy a very small amount of a Bitcoin. Yes, it's called a Satoshi.
Named after the person who
named after the creator.
So who made Bitcoin? When you ask about the creator, who created this, who invented this, they must be a real genius. Everyone's like, we have no idea.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Satoshi Nakamoto is a fake name for somebody.
It's the name that appears on the paper.
Were you able to learn anything more about who Satoshi Nakamoto is?
No.
Did you try?
A little. But really, I mean, it's just mission impossible.
He's a myth. I mean, he doesn't, no one knows who he is. Some people claim to be Satoshi Nakamoto, but we have not seen any definitive proof.
People communicated by email with Satoshi. Laszlo Hunyats, one of the people in our story, has told us he communicated by email with Satoshi.
Yes, I did. I corresponded with the inventor.
Do you know who he or it is?
I do not.
What did you talk about?
Just talk shop, really. Hey, I can't get this code to work.
So there was a period when people were talking to Satoshi. They were working out the technical problems. They were revising the code.
Has Satoshi been communicating with anyone lately?
No, there was a point where Satoshi just stopped, just faded away.
I understand Satoshi is sitting on a small fortune that has not been redeemed.
Right. Beyond the mystery of who this person actually is, Satoshi Nakamoto, is the question of why not touch any of this money?
Well, I mean, people are keeping track of his Bitcoins, because they know that he mined all the early blocks and he hasn't spent them.
Really?
Yeah, they're still there. None of them have been touched. So, some people think he's dead. Some people think he's just laying low. But because it's not owned or controlled by anyone, it truly belongs to the internet. It belongs to everyone. And it's almost like Satoshi came and gave us Bitcoin as a present and just kind of left.
Oh, and it was the president indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have the document that slid across my desk. You see Bitcoin Holdings. August 11, 2020. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. This was sent to Brian Brooks at 400 South Street, Southwest Suite 3E 218, Washington, D.C. Docket ID OCC 2019-0028. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can find this here document by that docket ID that I just read to you. And you can find it on the U.S. Treasury site. Contact the U.S. Treasury, and you will see that this is on file. And he CC'd Heath P. Tarbert, Chairman and Chief Executive at U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, Chairwoman Maxine Waters, Committee on Financial Services, Congressman Stephen F. Lynch, Chair of the Task Force on Financial Technology, and Todd A. White, Managing Partner, Rulon and White Governance Strategies. Now, it's titled National Bank and Federal Savings Association, Digital Activities and Solution to the U.S. Economy, Debt, and Stopping Bad Actors Through Bitcoin's Renaissance. Now it says, Dear Acting Comptroller Brooks, I'm ordinarily known through my nom de plume, Satoshi Nakamoto, founder of Bitcoin. I comprehend that Bitcoin and later blockchain industry all veered off from its actual embodiment and vision. I had created Bitcoin, best of breed. With the correct reconciliation and vision, Bitcoin could be an ally to the U.S. government and a true game changer for the U.S. economy. Bitcoin/blockchain was akin to water, which underpins all life forms and was similar to an operating system underlying revolutionary future innovations. At the point when I published the Bitcoin white paper in 2008, the spirit of the task was to liberate individuals, which I depicted unmistakably in a portion of my old post, like underneath. And if we click this link here, it takes us to this page. Bitcoin peer-to-peer eCash paper. Now he's going to highlight what's going on here in the document that I'm reading to you. It's very attractive to the libertarian viewpoint if we can explain it properly. I'm better with code than with words, though. That's Satoshi Nakamoto speaking. Lamentably, similar to some other great inventions, Bitcoin was hijacked by bad actors. And one reason I left the Bitcoin, while erroneously believing it's in good hands, I likewise trust that through the pivotal work I've been doing in the last 1 decade, subsequent to the launch of Bitcoin, which addresses the future of Bitcoin / chain of blocks through Bitcoin version 1, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, fintech, and biotech, Bitcoin SNR, which addresses and fixes the issues of fraudulent and false ICOs, and Bitcoin OS, which is a genuine solution to our data privacy issues through the chain of blocks. I've aced how we can push the decentralized model with balanced governance, regardless of whether we do discreetly through the assistance of government or straightforwardly. I've worked on the phases of my return where I've developed over years on the chain of block 3 tiers. Tier 1, Bitcoin version 1, with more progressive chain frameworks alongside a system to engross my first creation, Bitcoin, which will settle the issue of bad actors. Tier 2, Bitcoin SNR, with a robust chain framework to stop any fake ICOs and not just retaining and governing the old ICOs on Ethereum network, yet ensuring that chain of blocks industry gets the correct bearing, again discreetly or openly. Tier 3, Bitcoin OS, with protection and genuine security for our people in the future, and take on unreliable frameworks like Facebook Libra. Furthermore, change and reboot of inadequate systems like Ripple, XRP. I have also a viable revolutionary proposal regarding the U.S. economy issues as mentioned below. For this, the U.S. can implement the plan through my help, and also it'll benefit the U.S. in the global economies through IMF by adopting my new framework. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these 3 tiers, this definitely needs to be fixed if we are going to have a strong foundation going forward with this new technology. I believe the things that are being proposed in this document are very much so needed ASAP. Bad actors cause bad things to happen. They say one bad apple can spoil a bunch. Well, I don't want to be spoiled, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing that should ever be spoiled is fruits. But fruit shouldn't even be spoiled because you need to eat it in a timely manner. Now let's go further along in the documentation. Currently, the U.S. debt is around 26 trillion USD. Arrangement. With my extensive experience and partnership, I envisage to convert this debt into crypto equity bonds and distribute to the world, including China and Middle East. U.S. can control the debt sufficiently in 5 to 10 years' time. Now, basically, with this line, he's already telling us that China and the Middle East are already at the foundation of this blockchain technology, the infrastructure. And then the U.S. can take over in 5 to years' time. So there's your proof. Now about, who's really controlling these things. Now, the crypto market was around 823 billion USD in 2017 and anticipated to have around 80 trillion in the following 15 years' time, as indicated by some market specialists, with evaluated money in around 80 trillion USD. All inclusive, the US can lead the world with governing rules through my assistance. Federal Reserve, this is number 2, the US dollar and its predominance and devaluation on the planet. Arrangement. I'll associate the USD with blockchain which will take out all the dangers of tax evasion and will adjust with the SEC and strengthen the Federal Reserve by interfacing USD with blockchain and Bitcoin version 1. It'll cause the USD as solitary widespread money and will provide protection against deterioration in the Forex market. On the off chance that Bitcoin version 1 represents as digital gold to the Federal Reserve, it'll satisfy the presence what I said in 2010. Now, 2010, 08, 27, it's the Bitcoin talk. We click this link and it will take us directly here. This is where Satoshi, founding senior member, in 2010, August 27, he's noting what we're going to read here. Now it says, as a thought experiment, imagine there was a base metal as scarce as gold, but with the following properties. Boring, gray in color, not a good conductor of electricity, not particularly strong, but not ductile or easily malleable either, not useful for any practical or ornamental purpose, and one special magical property can be transported over a communications channel. If it somehow acquired any value at all for whatever reason, then anyone wanting to transfer wealth over a long distance could buy some, transmit it, and have the recipient sell it. As a subject matter expert, I'm available to help and team up with the government and regulatory authorities in the USA and work with the US government to support its efforts to monitor risk, improve compliance, and inform policy with respect to digital assets. With our joint effort through our endeavor in the US, we demonstrated to the US next Raytheon. We will have the capacity to create huge job opportunities and revenue and to change 42 or more business paradigms inside the US, such as banking, hedge funds, voting, internet identity and DNS, cyber defense infrastructure security, ride sharing like Uber, internet advertising, blockchain exchange, education and academia, car leasing and sales, industrial IoT and mesh networking, cloud storage, cloud computing, forecasting, entertainment rights and intellectual property, stock trading, real estate, insurance, healthcare, supply chain management, energy management, sports management, gift cards and loyalty programs, government and public records, gun tracking, wills and inheritances, retail charity, law enforcement, human resources, business and corporate governance, credit histories, 3D printing and manufacturing, crowdfunding, commodity-backed currency, libraries, publishing, fishing, photography, public assistance, video streaming, social networking, and messaging apps. I foresee the destiny of the chain of blocks / blockchain industry altering the global economic models, with the USA leading this revolution. And it'll be my honor to be part of this transformation. Yours sincerely, Satoshi Nakamoto, founder of Bitcoins / Bitcoin Holdings. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what he is talking about here is the usher in to the fourth industrial revolution, the new digital economy. Blockchain can change just that. And if your eyes are open, you can see that things are being merged and ushered to that very direction. I mean, just think about it. Zoom. Zoom was created in 2011. We're using Zoom in 2020. Now just think. The Jetsons predicted robots in 1962. We're in 2020. China is in 2030. Because they have all kinds of robots out there. So I want you to think ahead, ladies and gentlemen. And understand the US will still be a dominant player. But the truth is the truth. China, and the East. They are ahead currently. But with the help of Satoshi Nakamoto, if this is the real Satoshi Nakamoto, he could help assist the US and make the switch in a blink of an eye. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have went through this document. We know that there are links, and we can also see for ourselves. I will link the 2 posts in the description box because I want more eyes out there to find out if we can make the connection if this is the true, real Satoshi Nakamoto. I want you out here to go and look up the docket ID and see that it's real. I want you to look up the individuals, their names that were in this document, and see where it leads you. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you this here information because we all should know. Now, first and foremost, I want to thank the sender to my digital desk. I want to thank Satoshi Nakamoto myself for creating such revolutionary technology. I want to thank you, Satoshi, for allowing me to be able to participate in NFTs. Lord, do I love NFTs. I want to thank you, Satoshi, for being anonymous, but still remaining true to who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who this is. This is your boy, Brando. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know if this is Satoshi or if it isn't. But one way to find out is to investigate truth on your own terms.